Seconds out.
So Dominic, Saturday, 1st of April at Crystal Palace. Are you looking forward to the big night?
100%. I'm ready to go. The last few weeks have been a nightmare for me. Things didn't go well in my last performance, and I'm really hating myself at the moment, and that will manifest into this next fight, where everything that can be done in terms of training and preparation will and has been done. And over the next few weeks, we're really going to turn it up. And on April 1st, we're going to bring it.
So would you say to date, Nathan Gorman is your toughest opponent?
Yeah, I mean, he's an undefeated guy. We're at the same amount of fights, so yeah, I would say we're the same toughest fight today. Yeah.
So to the viewers listening, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
I'm from South East London. I was a bus driver for many years. I was working part-time for Stagecoach, but I couldn't give my all in terms of the night shifts and training full-time. So basically, in November last year, I just took a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to just take a leap and just go for it. When this fight was announced, or I knew that I would be fighting Nathan Gorman then for the English title, obviously it gave me more motivation. So, and then obviously, the disappointment occurred. I take it as a disappointment, but probably it's not, because it's a huge port of motivation for me. And the things that I probably wouldn't have done, like getting out of bed and facing that morning run and doing all the grinding and stuff, I probably wouldn't have been as motivated to do. So I have been doing. So I'm looking forward to April 1st.
And as Tommy Dodd, the promoter, said, the British heavyweight scene is at its probably most busiest in many a year. Tony Bellew's big win over David Hay, you got Derek Chisora still in there, and all the guys. So it's such a busy scene. How do you see your position in there?
I don't care for any of them right now. The only person I'm thinking about is Nathan Gorman. I looked into his eyes, and I can see a guy who wants to make a stance, but he'll crumble. Because at the end of the day, I know he's been reviewing a lot of all my old fights. And you have to understand, I haven't had all the privileges that he's been honoured to have, and but now for at least for this whole 6 weeks that we've had, I've prepared a way we have never prepared before. So I personally don't even know what kind of Dominic Akinlade is going to come. I just know I'm going to bring it regardless. But for the rest of the scene, I haven't got time to watch. I overlooked my last opponent, and that's why I'm in this position today. So I'm just totally focused on this guy.
You've been brilliant, Derek Williams. Sweet D, you've got the experience at the highest level as well. How do you see his position as well?
I'm excited about what I see in Dominic, and the reason being because I manage Dominic, and the reason why I stay with Dominic is because I see what he can do. I know what he can do and what he can accomplish. So, Dominic understands how serious it is for this particular fight, especially that we can't afford no slip up. So, Nathan is coming with an undefeated record that presents itself as a problem in that he thinks that he's unable to be beaten, but that can also be a hindrance to him, because I don't think he's ever been with anyone like Dominic, who's not going to face someone who hasn't faced anyone who wants to win as much as Dominic wants to win. So he has a challenge on his hand. Nathan is going to come up against a rock, something that he can't get through. You see, in the past he's been fighting guys who, obviously, you know how the game goes. You build a fighter and give him guys who you think that he's supposed to beat. But then you come to a championship fight or title fight, and it's a whole different ball game, because you got a guy in Dominic who's coming at you like you said, he's carrying a lot on him with him right now, where he's put a lot into his training, and we don't want to bang on about how hard he's training, because everyone trains like it's a professional game. You're a professional boxer, you're expected to train hard, but it's your mindset and what he's been fed mentally, what he's feeling, an emotional state of mind. So when the fight night comes, then when the bell goes, it's only two of them in the ring. So Nathan's not going to have Ricky in the fight, or Dominic's not going to have me in the fight. We were both champion fighters ourselves. We know what it takes to be at that level. Now you got two heavyweights who are swinging bombs, different ball game. You got a hungry guy who's focused on a target and a goal. You're going to have a hell of a fight, but I expect Dominic to come out on top.
Can you see any comparisons to your career at your stage and your career to where Dominic is now?
For sure. I was going to mention Dominic is coming off a surprise loss in his last fight, and he's got a big fight now. And I remember back in my career where I picked an opponent as a warm-up before one of my big fights, and he nicked a decision off me. I was my whole world caved in. My next fight was against the big punching Jimmy Thunder, and I blew him away because I knew to myself I was hungry, wounded. I was like a wounded animal, and I came for him because I knew to myself that there's no slip up. And Dominic is exactly at that stage now where he fought a guy who should have been in 2 or 3 rounds with him, nick a decision off him, and now he's exactly where I was mentally. I was at a state when I fought Thunder. There was no way that I was gonna back down that time. You could come at me with 2 guns. Dominic is exactly that now, and that's why I think to myself that it's funny. It's like history repeating itself.
And lastly, just final prediction from you on the night. What's going to be your final verdict?
South London all the way is going to win. The Northerners beat me the last one, but not this time. Not this time. I know they've got like 3 coach loads of Mancunians coming down, but we're going to send them back up the M1. Simple.
They're not going to be in the ring. They can't climb the ring, can they?
Great. Thank you, gents.
Okay.